Today is going to be an interesting one, so stick around until the end. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a book haul. Since we've been in quarantine for more than 30 days, I've been online shopping and I don't feel bad about it. I don't at all, because buying books online and getting them delivered to your house is true happiness. That's one of the reasons why I decided to buy new books, and also because I need new books. That's a lie. I ordered a lot of books, but the only ones that have been delivering my books fast is Target. And I'm still waiting for my depository order. That's been over a month already. I'm also waiting for eBay. So I think right now the perfect place for you to order books and get them delivered in 2 or 3 days is Target. They also have very cheap books right now. And we can't forget the coffee. So we're gonna start out with Stephen King. So I got maybe around 5 to 6 books of Stephen King. So the first one is Misery by Stephen King. And this one, I actually have been meaning to read it for a very long time. It's about Paul Sheldon. So he's a writer. I feel like Stephen King's characters, a lot of them are writers. If you know Stephen King and if you have read all his books. And he kills off a popular protagonist of his romance series. But this change doesn't come without consequences. He suffers a car accident and he leaves his body broken. Then he finds himself at mercy of the nurse who is taking care of him. Her name is Annie, and she happens to be his #1 fan. And because of the consequence that he did, she is very upset about him killing off the character in the novel, and she demands him to bring him back by writing a new novel. He then becomes a prisoner in this isolated house. He has like a bunch of time on his hands to write the novel again, and I'm excited to see if he actually does it or not. And Annie becomes one of those manipulative and persuasive and violent people who are persuading him to write the novel all over again and bring back the character that she really enjoyed. I mean, I would do that. Just kidding. No, I wouldn't. Okay, the next book by Stephen King that I bought was FireStarter, and I recently saw it on Bookstagram, and it did not get a good review on it, but I'm hoping that I enjoy it. It has around 590 pages. The font, I love Stephen King's books because their font is amazing and it actually makes you want to read the books. I don't know if it's just me, but the font counts as well. And this one, about 2 characters that were once college students. They were looking to get some extra cash, volunteering as test subjects. There are some characters that are gifted and they have like a pyrokinesis, which is the ability to create fire with her mind. As you can, hence the title, it's called FireStarter. The lady that's in the front cover, she's gonna have powers, which is very interesting, and I'm very intrigued to read this one. Okay, I'm gonna do this faster. I don't want to make this a long video. Okay, so the next one that I got was Salems. I've heard very good reviews on this one. This one has 640 pages. Then he's the main character. He has returned to Jerusalem's lot in the hopes that living in an old mansion, The Shining, reminds me of The Shining, will help him cast out his own devils and provide inspiration for his new book. Wow, this sounds just like The Shining. Okay, the next one, The Outsider by Stephen King, and I haven't opened it. Let's go ahead and open it really fast on this video. Wow. The smell of new books is just amazing. This one has 560 pages, and I have read this one, but I did not finish it. I only read maybe the first 6 chapters, and then my Audible membership canceled. So I decided to order it so I can reread it and read it again from the beginning. I was enjoying it, but I never had the chance to go back to it, and I finally got it. So this one is actually an HBO series and I want to watch it as well. But if you don't know what The Outsider is, it's basically a little boy, 11 years old. He's brutally murdered in a park and they're trying to figure out who murdered him. They're trying to find the identity of the person who murdered this kid. They find a prime suspect whose name is Terry, and he is a league coach for baseball. Is it baseball? I don't know what it is. He's an English teacher and he is a husband and a father. And they are saying that he's the one that murdered the little boy, but we don't know if he did. So this is the one that I got as well. Okay, and I think the last book by Stephen King that I got was Elevation. And this one is a short story by Stephen King, but it has only 146 pages. And I probably will be done with this one in maybe 2 hours max. And will probably be for my May TBR. So I'm very interested to read this one. I've heard very good reviews on Bookstagram and YouTube as well. Okay, now moving on, I also got 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do. This is a nonfiction by Amy Morin, and she's a licensed clinical social worker, college psychology instructor, and a psychotherapist. There are 13 things for you to master your mental strength. And the first one is to don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself, don't give away your power, don't shy away for change, don't focus on things you can't control, don't worry about it pleasing everyone, don't fear taking calculated risks, don't dwell on the past, don't make the same mistakes over and over, don't resent other people's success, don't give up after the first failure, don't fear alone time, don't feel the world owes you anything, and don't expect immediate results. So this is a nonfiction, like I mentioned already, and it is to take back your power, embrace change, face your fears, and train your brain for happiness and success. I've been reading a lot about happiness books, and I'm very interested and very intrigued to get into this book. So the next one is Unspoken by Lisa Jackson, and I have read one of her books already. And I wasn't a big fan of it, but I am those type of people who decide to give an author a second chance. We never know if their books are completely different and one is better than the other, but this one is Unspoken and it was only $5 at Target, so that's one of the reasons why I picked it up. This one is a thriller, and there is an envelope that is delivered to Shelby's Seattle home that contains no return address, but just a photograph of a little girl. And the little girl that is pictured on the envelope that she received is the daughter she was told that died at birth. And then at that moment she knows something, and that is to go back to her hometown, Texas. So this one sounds very interesting. It sounds like a very good thriller. Very excited to read it. There's a lot of thrillers that I got. Okay, the next one, I have been seeing it everywhere. I'm very excited to read this one. It is The Beautiful by Renee Adieh. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm not pretty sure. This one is a fantasy and a young adult, historical fiction, I guess, fantasy, paranormal. A lot of genres that I see on here, but this one, I'm very surprised that it was only $8. I have seen it everywhere and it was like around $11. I only purchased cheap books, so I don't buy new books. I just wait until they're cheaper at the store or if I see them at any bookstores. I try to save money as much as possible with books. I love the synopsis for this one, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to read this one. It's been, I think it's it is the #1 on Goodreads, and I'm probably gonna add it to my May TBR. Next. The next book, holy wow. So this one has been on my TBR for more than probably from the beginning of the year. This one is This Is How It Always Is. It is about Claude, who is only 5 years old, and he is the youngest of 5 brothers, and he loves peanut butter sandwiches. He also loves wearing a dress and dreams of being a princess. When he grows up, he says he wants to be a girl, and Rosie and Penn, which are probably his parents, they want Claude to be whoever Claude wants to be. They're just not sure they're ready to share that with the world. Soon the entire family is keeping Claude's secret until one day it explodes. So I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be a very sad story. And I was at Target one day and I read the synopsis in the back and I just wanted to read it. But I saved it on my TBR and I finally got it. And I'm very excited to read it. But this one has 412 pages and it is by Lori Frankel. Sorry, I didn't say the author. Next one that I got was We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Oh, hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. Her name is beautiful. Her first name, last name, it's beautiful. But this one, it is a 4.4 on Goodreads. And when I ordered it, I did not read the complete synopsis for this one. I just read the title, and since I want to read more about like feminism and sexism, it is an essay with only 148 pages. And I don't feel bad about it because I'm pretty sure it's going to be good after reading the reviews on Goodreads. So it is an essay and it talks about the definition of feminism for the 21st century. Just gives like topics of what feminism is today, and a huge topic as a woman myself. She did have a TED talk about feminism, and it is a nonfiction. I'm excited to read this one. Okay, the next one is another nonfiction, and this one is Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit. This one is 159 pages. Not that long either, and it's just about a book of what often goes wrong between conversations between men and women. She writes about men who wrongly assume they know things and wrongly assume women don't. It is about the inequality between women and men and gender-based violence. Another feminist book that I'm very excited to read and decided to pick up after searching books based on feminism. Looking forward to reading this one. Okay, the last 3 books that I picked them up on eBay, and these are used books. They're not new. But they are the Hunger Games series. I only picked up these 2 books, The Hunger Games, and I also picked up the 3rd book of The Hunger Games, which is Mockingjay, and I already had Catching Fire. Out of The Hunger Games, I have not read it, surprisingly. I enjoyed the movies, and since the new one is coming out, the new book is coming out, I wanted to read the books. I'm very excited to read the Hunger Games series because I really enjoyed watching the movies. But that is all for today. I did order more books on Book Depository, and I'm still waiting for Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, maybe. But that is all for today. Those are all the books that I bought for the month of May. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!